For me, it was kind of, I was attracted to the glitz and glamour of him having a reputation. I would say for a lot of girls, and that was partly my thing too, was about wanting to be loved more than anything. I didn't have my dad around. I think I was kind of seeking that male figure. And I think that is very similar for a lot of girls. I don't think it's necessarily about the violence and the money for girls the same way it is about boys. It's more the relationship and the emotional side of it and wanting to fit in and having that reputation. In a lot of respects, in the same way as boys, but the added thing with women is a boy showing them attention, showing them love, making them feel like they're special. So in terms of the grooming, there'll still be the gifts, there'll still be the compliments, it's just coming from a kind of sexualised nature or a romantic nature. The gifts, I would say, definitely. The loyalty, I would say, comes in later because you kind of going through the relationship, which would naturally, you would assume there would be a loyalty in that. And as you see that lifestyle and how they are amongst their friends, if you will, and then that loyalty, it just kind of changes into that, and you take on that role that, you know, you're not supposed to talk because you're not going to be disloyal to your partner. You're certainly not going to go to the police on your partner, somebody that you love, and it's kind of drilled into you that if you love me, you're not going to do that. And then there's that fear element, particularly for a young girl who's not been around that kind of lifestyle. What you think's quite glamorous and that you want to be involved in suddenly becomes very real when you've got heroin in your bedside table and a gun in the other side, or somebody cleaning a sawn-off shotgun in your kitchen. Then do you really want to talk because you don't know what the consequences are going to be afterwards? I think the emotional side makes young women more vulnerable. I think young people in general, obviously everybody wants to fit in, everybody wants to be loved, but hormones for a girl, then when it's coming from a boy, is a different level of needing that acceptance, wanting that love, wanting to be special. I think it ultimately is coming from the same, with the same acts, the same kind of words, the same kind of grooming style, the gifts, the treating you like you're part of something. But for a hormonal girl as a teenager, desperately wanting to be loved, and you know, everyone wanted a boyfriend as a teenager, I think that just adds that complexity to it. I think they are under the radar because their involvement is generally different. Like I say, women aren't, or girls tend to be at the forefront of a gang where they're out committing the obvious crimes and certainly the violent crimes. They are tend to use to be holding things in their house or to be hiding things or as an alibi perhaps. So I think it tends to go under the radar because that's not the crime we're out trying to solve as such or to stop. So I think there aren't as many females involved in gangs in the typical sense of being that part of it. They are more in the background, but it's still just as dangerous for them. They're still at risk and they are still committing the crimes and they're enabling the young men out there that are doing what they're doing. I just think it's in a different manner, that's all. No, I think we've got better. I think we have a lot more general support now for gang-related crime and awareness. I don't think it tends to be targeted at girls the same way, because I think still as a society we go, boys are the forefront, boys are the violent ones, and no, I would say there isn't enough female targeted support. So I think the main focus needs to be real life. You can read from a book all you want, but it's never going to hit for a young person. That's just another adult telling you what to do. Obviously, if you start talking about sexual violence, exploitation, that kind of thing, for some girls it's always going to be easier to swallow coming from a female. I think you have to play that by ear, really. Being more aware of, it's always viewed that they are being groomed and exploited, but actually taking the time to realise that yes, they're being taken advantage of in a lot of respects, but sometimes it's been a choice to start where they started, even if it's not been a choice to end where it's ended. So it's kind of being more aware as a institution in itself and providing somewhere that these young people feel safe to go to. That is, like you say, potentially female-led at least, or there is an identifiable female that they can go to. No, I don't think there was at the time. We didn't have the awareness. We're going back 20 years now. I don't think we had the awareness then. Had there been the awareness, you're always going to say it's having that place to go. Now we're talking about it, things have moved on. We're in a better place now. There's obviously still a lot more we can be doing, but no, I don't think then. We were allowed to be children. We were allowed to have that bit more freedom. We didn't have the awareness that we do now. We didn't have social media, we didn't have mobile phones. So I think realistically, no, there probably wasn't. As a young adult, when I got that bit older, I think services perhaps could have acted a bit differently. I had children in that relationship, and children's services, well intended, but didn't necessarily manage it very well. It became being controlled from two different sides. So I think a better understanding of how to deal with victims as opposed to being solely concerned in what this person should be doing. It's actually what are they emotionally dealing with right now to enable them to get to that place.